Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Indoors and sold out St. Louis. The Rams have won the toss. They will receive. Tim, what will you be watching?
Well, they've got to protect Sam Bradford. He's been sacked 11 times and has just been hammered and hit. That cannot continue. That'll be difficult against the Redskins. The Redskins got to get their run game juiced up. It was very good in week 2. Was not very good last week against the Dallas Cowboys. And then the secondary for the St. Louis Rams. Joe Flacco just absolutely struck him often and struck him deep for 390 yards. They are playing with a couple of backup corners. That is tough. Justin King's going to have to be on his game.
And Steve Spagnuolo said, don't say can we, say how can we? How can we win this game?
And he said, here's what Spag said, you can't worry about the 2 S's, stats and statistics. Forget it. It's all out the window. I would expect them to push the tempo a little bit, maybe get out of character and do a few things different to change it up, both offense, defense, and special teams. Jarius
Norwood, Danny Amendola are inactive for the Rams, so Quinn Porter and rookie Austin Pettis are back to receive. Graham Gano's kick, and game 4, Redskin Rams is underway. It's Porter. And the Rams will take it on the 20-yard line.
He didn't even think about it.
And Sam Bradford leading the way. Last year didn't miss a snap. Has already had some issues early this year. Just give him time and look out.
Well, it's a much different offense. It's all about the big chunks. And he does have good receivers to get it to. Mike Sims-Walker, I think, was a nice addition in the offseason. They've got a very, very athletic offensive line. Love this addition. Good player. Great beard with Harvey Dahl.
Maybe that's disguising the protection. On first down, Steven Jackson. His first carry since he went out with a thigh bruise in game 1 against the Eagles. Ryan Kerrigan makes the stop. A rookie, part of that vastly improved defense.
And that's the group that makes it go for Jim Haslett. I mean, he has got the horses up front to let all that stuff happen on the back end. Rookie Ryan Kerrigan has been outstanding through the first 3 games. Arakpo, one of the better rushers in the league. And getting LaRon Landry back, number 30. And we'll see a lot of stuff out of him today. Big shot in the arm for the Redskins.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson again with room. Steven Jackson has a first down. Rams. LaRon Landry brought him down. A gain of 13.
And a very, very good block up front. Steven Jackson will hammer you on the cutback, but I want you to watch the block. Roger Saffold, as he's going to go hunt up the linebacker, Rocky McIntosh. I mean, he takes Rocky and just washes him down to the inside of the defense. You can see that 235 is Steven Jackson just breaking tackles. Good play.
Redskin defenders say this is the best offensive line as a unit we've seen all year, this Ram offensive line. On first down, Jackson carries again. This time the Redskins are ready for him as a helmet comes off. Arakpo made the stop. We've yet to see Bradford have to put it in the air.
Well, I think what Josh McDaniels wants to do with Sam Bradford, and it is all different. I mean, it was from a dink and dunk under Pat Shurmur in the West Coast to a deep and deeper offense looking for big chunks with Josh McDaniels. Would not be surprised. Number 1, establish the running game. Number 2, you see Sam Bradford with some fast pass getting it out.
And it's Jackson again. And it'll be 3rd and long. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, the former Bronco head coach, and had success, of course, in New England as an offensive coordinator there with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
You know what I mean about Bradford? I mean, everybody's doing shotgun fast pass around the league because everyone defensively is attacking protections. You got to protect your quarterback. And Bradford, because of the long developing routes, so many times this year, he's been sitting and hitching and waiting to throw, and the receivers have not been ready to catch the ball.
3rd and 7, penalty.
Start number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And the Rams, the 2nd most penalized team when it comes to yards, another thing that's contributed to their rough start. Walt Coleman, our ref.
Look at this team, and when you have a low margin for error, you can't shoot yourself in the foot, and the penalties and the drops and everything else offensively have been a problem.
You saw Jim Haslett, you think blitz. Sam Bradford protected, dumps it to Jackson, and the Redskins were ready. Nailed for a loss, and Rocky McIntosh back at the 25-yard line. So the opening drive stalls for the Rams.
Well, if you're going to run a screen, you better get the inside backers blocked. Watch London Fletcher right here. He's going to drop, and then here comes Rocky McIntosh. See, Fletch drops in coverage, which tells you Rocky McIntosh has got the back in coverage to the backside. He sniffed that screen out the whole way.
Donnie Jones back to punt for the Rams, and Brandon Banks, who can break one, hauls it in at the 39 and steps out of bounds around the Redskin 45. So an excellent start for Washington and Rex Grossman, who will lead the offense of the 2-1 Redskins.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Redskins on offense for the first time today, and Rex Grossman with 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator and son, of course, of Mike Shanahan. They marked the ball back at the 42 of Washington. First and 10 and 2 tight ends with Tim Hightower.
Ready.
Grossman has it. Pass is complete. Santana Moss for a quick first down around the 45-yard line of the Rams. Grossman leads a lineup that seemed like they got over that Monday night loss.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of the two tight end package, especially with Anthony Armstrong, their third wide receiver, being down. Offensive line up front, they are vastly improved. Chris Chester was a tremendous addition, and Trent Williams, I think arguably here in the next few years, is going to be one of the best left tackles in pro football. You look at Trent Williams out there.
13-yard pickup, first and 10. Grossman again, he goes the other way. And he'll keep and go out of bounds. Darrell Young, the fullback, inactive again with a hamstring. Mike Sellers will be in that spot. As you said, we'll see some 2 tight ends against a Ram defense led really in the middle by James Laurinaitis.
Yeah, no question. And led up front by Chris Long. Chris is having an outstanding season here for the St. Louis Rams. Laurinaitis flanked by a couple of older linebackers, but guys who have got a lot of starting snaps in pro football. That's still a work in progress. And then I think the biggest thing is you look at these corners, and they lost their top 3 corners in training camp. That's stressed out their defense.
Jerome Murphy and Ron Bartell out injured as Grossman to throw again. And incomplete. Had plenty of time. He got knocked down. In the area of Dante Stallworth, Anthony Armstrong inactive with a hamstring injury for the Redskin receiving corps.
And I think that they'll miss him. Now, Anthony Armstrong can fly, and Shanahan knows it. Rex definitely wanted to go deep. They want to jump on these guys the way Baltimore did and get St. Louis panicking. And clearly, Rex Grossman was looking deep to shallow that last play. He had 2 guys wide open for a 5-yard gain and didn't take it.
Niles Paul checks in the game, number 94, the rookie receiver from Nebraska, who the Redskins will unveil a lot today on 3rd down. Hightower has it at the 40, but short of the first down. Laurinaitis was right there with it.
You see the flash of the right defensive end, Robert Quinn, there for the St. Louis Rams, their first-round draft choice. Whoa.
And it looks like they're going to go for it. At least Grossman is staying out on the field here on 4th down from the 39.
Well, I'm telling you, they want to extinguish. Now, they might try to get the Rams to jump here, but they want to extinguish any confidence the Rams have at all coming into this game. And if they pick up a first down here, Chris, they could go a long way towards doing that.
4th down.
They got him.
And there's a penalty.
There's another self-destruction mistake. They got him.
False start, number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Well, that'll change things on Jamal Brown, the right tackle for Washington.
Yeah, they got themselves.
The hesitation on the rush by Eugene Sims may have created that. So 4th and 9. Sav Rocca, who leads the NFL, punts inside the 20 with 9. Will have an opportunity here. And the rookie Austin Pettis out of Boise State, who's had one fair catch of a punt, is back, and we'll see him return kicks as well today for the Rams. No fair catch. And Lorenzo Alexander, the star of the Redskins special teams, made sure that Pettis went nowhere. It's been that kind of start. Scoreless. Rams Redskins opening quarter.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
The Rams without Danny Amendola, their version of Wes Welker, talking there to some of the players for another game. They miss a lot. He wanted to play with that beat-up elbow. They hope that he'll be back after the bye week.
He would have played if they would have let him. He's one of those guys, Chris, you got to protect him from himself.
Bradford to throw on first down, and in and out of the hands of Mike Sims-Walker. And he was wide open.
And there's one of those drops. That's number 10 on the year. They lead the NFL in drops. But those things add up. And again, the confidence south as that continues to happen. But that's what I expect. Short passing game. Let Sam get it out of his hand. He has been rocked this season.
Leading receiver for the Rams with 12 catches is Brandon Gibson. On second down, Steven Jackson. And we'll bring up a third down. LaRon Landry again coming up to make the stop. It was last year in game 3 when the Rams knocked off Washington. They're hoping to get away with that again this year.
And these are the two guys that are going to have to get blocked inside, especially this one, Barry Cofield. I mean, if you're going to run the ball inside, you've got to get that nose guard, that defensive tackle, and he plays both depending on the front. You got to get Cofield blocked. That will be a huge challenge today, Chris, for Jason Brown.
3rd and 5 in the hands of Sims-Walker, and out of the hands of Sims-Walker. It'll be 4th down.
Are you feeling the same thing I am? Because I feel like it's almost preseason football, just being around these St. Louis Rams here in pregame and early in the game. Well, and they were so I was here in training camp. They were so confident. They were ready to fly. They were ready to take off. This thing has gotten disastrous.
They were 1 win away from winning the division last year. And the Rams haven't recovered since. Injuries and schedule are one thing, but they hope to play better football. Donnie Jones, his second punt of the game, and he booms it for Brandon Banks. Back at his 30. And the coverage is excellent. Britt Miller, the fullback, back there on the tackle. The Redskins on offense. We're scoreless.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon 4G LTE, built so you can rule the air. By DirecTV, this season NFL Sunday Ticket is included when you switch. And by Chase, don't get shortchanged. Get your cash back with Chase Freedom.
Jim Haslett, former Ram defensive coordinator, interim head coach, doing good things for the Redskins. Another 3rd down stop for his unit.
I'll tell you what's amazing, and they're tied for the league in 3rd down defense, is what they're able to do defensively when you look around the league with all their disguised coverages, all the different things that they do. Because of the lockout and the work stoppage, so many of the teams, Chris, are behind the 8 ball. They're ahead of it with Jim Haslett.
Grossman, another throw. Through the hands of Hightower.
That hit Lieber between the 5 and the 9.
Lieber on him, but we've seen the Redskins have only had 1 drop this year. That's among the best in the NFL.
Some decent push coming up inside with Gary Gibson. You see him there. So Rex got to get into a little back pedal. The ball is behind Hightower. And Ben Lieber knows it. That hit him square in the chest plate.
2 tight ends. We thought the Redskins were a running team. Hightower. And the Rams string it out nicely. James Hall and Bradley Fletcher, so it'll be 3rd down. Already 4 attempts in the air for Grossman.
And you're going to see a lot of this today, especially with Tim Hightower going to the left. And everyone will tell you, look, the Redskins are a stretch offense, which means they try to stretch out your defense and get it to the perimeter. And look at how many times they go to the left versus middle and right.
6 defensive backs here on 3rd down. Grossman down the middle of the field and complete. Jabbar Gaffney hauls it in for a 1st down in Ram territory, a 20-yard pickup.
Well, watch Rex thread the needle here. Now, when it comes out on time and he's decisive and just pulls the trigger and knows where it's going, look at the accuracy right there. That was the beauty of talking to Rex yesterday. He said, look, all the preparation is done, and I think I finally learned it in my career to just go play. Let it rip and quit thinking about it.
Said I have to trust myself. And Hightower gets the carry. Run out of bounds. Are you surprised that's only, what, the 2nd carry for Tim Hightower so far since they've had the football that the Redskins are throwing early as much as they
No,
are?
not at all. I think the Redskins want to get any confidence, as I said earlier, that the Rams may have and just get it out of their head by getting points on the board early and trying to strike them quick. This is the bread and butter of their offense. I mean, you can talk Mike Shanahan for the last 20 years and everything comes off of that outside stretch play.
On 2nd and 5 after a healthy pickup, Hightower remains the back. And Hightower has it, and it'll be 3rd down. Rams were ready for that. James Laurinaitis was telling me before the game that Baltimore does a lot of that kind of blocking that the Rams do, very similar.
Absolutely, and really the zone run and watch everybody come off on a track, all these guys, it really is curtailed to go against a 4-man front. And all Hightower did there was read the block by 77, Jamal Brown, and when he saw Jamal Brown had the defensive end hook, the read to the running back is punch it outside. Darian Stewart was there waiting for him.
2-yard loss. They're 3rd and 7. Grossman, Gaffney. 1st down, Washington. Gaffney with another big gainer. This one in 17 yards.
And nobody's even around him. He's just going to go set up camp right here. Got a little zone concept going, so he's going to get behind the nickel player, which there was the safety Quentin Michael, and inside the corner. That's just too easy. Give Rex Grossman 3.5 seconds to throw against the zone. He's going to pick it apart.
Gaffney lines up on the right. 1st and 10. That's Cooley in motion. Hightower. Down to the 21-yard line. He's got a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Matthew Stafford threw a pick on his first drive. Tony Romo threw a touchdown on his first drive. This 25-yard score to Des Bryant put the Cowboys in the lead at home, 7-0. Chris and Tim.
So Dallas fortunate to get away with that win Monday night at home. Looked like they're riding the momentum against the undefeated Lions.
They get Tony's street cred up a little more. I heard he had 4 broken ribs and 2 punctured lungs.
Keep exaggerating. Roy Halou is in, and the rookie from Nebraska. Look out! 1st down. He cuts back and gives Washington another 1st down.
You know, you talk about Halou as a change of pace back. What do you mean when you say change of pace? Well, Hightower is all about the stretch. Here's Hightower, Hightower, Hightower. You get Halou in there, change of pace. He is a cutback guy. So going to push the stretch, bang, stick that left cleat in the grass or in the turf, get downhill for a big gainer.
Yeah, he came in averaging 5.5 yards a carry, 2-time team MVP at Nebraska. Missouri fans will remember last year he ran for over 300 yards against Missouri as a Cornhusker and carries again. I just have a feeling we're going to see more and more of him as the season goes on.
Well, he is highly skilled, obviously, when you look at him in terms of his skill sets. Ran a 4.4 at the NFL Scouting Combine coming out of Nebraska. I was at the Senior Bowl where every coach and scout really liked him, and he's got great balance, always a key for running backs.
2nd down 6, Gary Gibson, the injured Ram. Gary Gibson, defensive tackle for the Rams, was able to walk his way over to the bench. The rookie Robert Quinn out of North Carolina will step in for him when needed. From the 8-yard line of the Rams, Grossman 4 out of 6 so far, and he's been perfect on 3rd down as Roy Halou stays in on 2nd down. Roy Halou fighting hard. It'll be another 3rd down for Washington. The 11th play of the drive, and they've gotten into the red zone inside the 20 on a regular basis, but getting touchdowns, getting enough points, they've been frustrated.
Yeah, they've been in the red zone. I believe this is their 15th time. I went back and watched every tape or every play from the Dallas tape, and it wasn't on Rex Grossman. I promise you, there wasn't. Guys getting no separation.
Grossman, end zone. Santana Moss, touchdown. Floated perfectly by Rex Grossman.
Right away, looking at the middle part of that defense, that the Rams were coming with the pressure. Sure. And it's going to come from here, and it's Craig Dahl. Rex knows right away he's got Santana Moss matched up on an isolation out route. That's just pitch and catch. That's too easy, and it's Justin King again being taken advantage of. He was the guy last week, but that's a good play call and better execution in recognizing what was coming. Rex Grossman was all over it.
And terrific footwork from Moss. Santana named after the musician Carlos Santana. And Graham Gano's extra point is good. So the Redskins strike first. A 7-0 lead. Grossman to Santana Moss here in the opening quarter. Santana Moss told us he was a fan of Rex Grossman, and that was yesterday before the touchdown pass.
Well, and I think Rex was a huge asset for Santana last year, coming over from Houston and knowing the offense. Look, Rex has got this offense wired. Coming over with Kyle Shanahan, they were together with the Houston Texans. Santana said that was huge for him.
And he remembered, he said, look, a quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl, I know what he's been through since, but I've been watching Grossman for a long time, and I'm a fan. And obviously the connection in the red zone for Washington, that's big.
Well, remember what I just said. Last week against Dallas, there was no separation from the receivers on the defenders. That was clear separation as he just out-leveraged and then ran away from Justin King.
Meanwhile, Gano to kick off, and the Rams in a hole once again. Quinn Porter will have a chance. It stopped at the 15-yard line. Rams have been outscored 49-13 in the opening quarter. The most pressured quarterback in the NFL, Sam Bradford. That includes everything. Sacks 11, whether you want to talk hits, hurries, knockdowns, etc., etc. Overall, he's been beat up and trying to hang in there.
Well, he's a Wells Fargo truck without a lock on the door. You don't like that. He is the big-time investment. Look at the percentage of how many times he has gotten rocked in terms of the pressure. Sacks, hits, hurries, knockdowns. 30% of the time he drops back to take a pass. He's getting hammered. Look at all the quarterbacks with the exception of Eli Manning behind him, all with one win through the first 3 weeks of the season.
I didn't see Michael Vick's name on that list. On 1st and 10, Rams need to get something going. In a hole as the pass is complete to Billy Bajema, the tight end. He'll gain a few. Remember, the Rams were booed at home last week against Baltimore, and both James Laurinaitis, correction, that was Britt Miller on the catch, not Bajema, but Laurinaitis, Robert said, well, we didn't give him it. We're embarrassed. We didn't give fans something to cheer about.
Laurinaitis wanted to go play the game on Monday. He said he wanted to get back out there. Look, I think a lot of it is this team is talented. Up front, they're very talented at the quarterback position. They just haven't gelled yet. The lockout, I think, the work stoppage, a lot of teams are facing it, was disastrous for this club.
So Bradford to throw on 2nd down, and that is complete up near the 30-yard line for a first down to rookie Lance Kendricks. Baseball's regular season ended with an unbelievable night of drama. The American League's 4 remaining teams will look to their brightest stars to try and make that next unforgettable moment that'll lead them to the American League Championship Series and a step closer to the World Series. And you'll see it on Fox Saturday. Game 1 of the ALCS, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, as the Rams come up with a first down. Steven Jackson. For a couple. Let's get an update. Here's Kurt Benefield.
Well, the Carolina Panthers visiting the Chicago Bears. Cam Newton, not the start he wants. This ball deflected into the hands of DJ Moore. He takes it about 20 yards for a pick six, and the Bears have a 10-3 lead. Chris, that Bears defense looking like it did when Tim Ryan played.
Really that good, huh?
Well, 3 Hall of Famers on that defense. Singletary, Hampton, and Richard Dent.
And a broadcast Hall of Famer in waiting from Tim Ryan.
We didn't play a lot of cover 2, though. I promise you.
Bradford gets rid of it just in time. First down Rams, and still spinning. Denario Alexander. A 25-yard gain.
And it's all sold with a little bit of play action. You see Denario Alexander at the top of your screen. Look at this release. Quick enough to where Kerrigan's hand couldn't get there. Just a simple in cut. Love the way he drove Josh Wilson to the outside as he was releasing on his route. Cuts hard inside. Perfect throw from Sam Bradford. They needed that big time.
Jackson down to the 40, 3-yard pickup. Again, Landry making the stop. He's the one waving his arm. It'll be 2nd down and 7, and having a healthier Steven Jackson makes all the difference in the world. That thigh injury in the opener. Cadillac Williams forced into more action. He's ready to go as a backup today if needed. Again, Jarius Norwood inactive. Clock winding down here in the opening quarter.
We got to see what's going on with Jacob Bell. Got Tony Raggi in there playing left guard here for the Rams.
Bradford with time in the pocket. Now he's on the run. He's out of bounds at the 40. And that'll bring up a 3rd down, and it's the end of the first quarter. Redskins 7, Rams nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. Start of the second quarter, an early tipping point for the Rams on 3rd and 7 from the 40 of Washington, trailing 7-0. Bradford fakes, fires. Mike Sims Walker. Incomplete. Kevin Barnes was covering 3 times. They've gone to him 3 times, nothing.
Well, and they get him in an isolation route down into the boundary. He's playing the weak side receiver, so he's over here down on the boundary, and you're going to see him take off. They're trying to get some safety help over the top. Look at this throw from Sam Bradford. That looked like it went over the shoulder of Kevin Barnes and hit Mike Sims Walker right in the hands. That's drop number 11, and that one would have been 6 points. Brutal.
Rams fighting for their first win, and the punt goes out of bounds. Donnie Jones angling for the sideline and gets it down at the 10-yard line. That's where the official marks it. So a 30-yard kick, well placed. Redskins will be back on offense after Santana Moss has the only score of the game.
Today's game is sponsored by Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. By the Chevy Silverado HD, Motor Trend's 2011 Truck of the Year. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
Here in St. Louis, that's Nickelback Kevin Barnes, who is on the coverage on Sims Walker, the dropped football. Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, Ray Avent down on the field, and 1st and 10 for Washington. Grossman, quick pass and tipped. He had Davis, Fred Davis open. That's the direction he was going. Let's check in on some injuries. Drea's down on the field. And we'll get her report on Gary Gibson and some of the other injuries. We know that Tony Raggi was in playing for Jacob Bell on the Ram offensive line. On the Washington line now, protecting Grossman on 2nd and 10 with Roy Halou the back. Halou carries, but squirms out to the 15-yard line.
You watch Halou run, and it's what all the real good runners do, especially the cut back downhill runners, is you'll never see Halou come through the line of scrimmage with his shoulders sideways. And that's what all the good backs do. The downhill backs, they come through with those shoulders absolutely square the minute they cross the line of scrimmage. And you go out and try to tackle them, you see shoulder pads and knee pads from that low pad level. It's hard to stop.
On 3rd and 5. Pressure. Pass incomplete. Fred Davis intended receiver. But Darian Stewart with excellent cover. And a big stop early for the Rams.
That is a huge stop. That is a huge stop. A very good play by Stewart because they didn't have their coverage synced up out there. Guys were jumping around at the last minute. Stewart jumped on the point man in that little bunch set where they cluster up those receivers. And he played that perfectly, coming over the top and getting a bat down.
There's Austin Pettis, the rookie. Sam Rocca. It's going to bounce. Pettis will have to get out of the way. And another great kick, whether it's inside the 20 for Rocca or just getting it downfield. Field position swings back as the Rams are inside their own 30, but they have the football after a 55-yard boot. This November, Fox Sports steps into the octagon with an epic heavyweight title fight. The #1 ranked contender in the world, Junior Dos Santos, squaring off with the undefeated world champion, Cain Velasquez. It's a must-see live event, and you can only see it on Fox, the UFC Heavyweight Championship for the world. Saturday live, November 12th on Fox, the son of the animal.
That guy fit right in, James Laurinaitis.
And we mean that in the nicest way. His dad, the professional wrestler, as Jackson carries on 1st down for the Rams. So any kind of fast start. The Rams now trailing 7-0 here. They've been outscored. We mentioned in the first quarter, also in the first half.
But it's much better than it was last week. Look, they got down so fast against the Baltimore Ravens. Steve Spagnuolo's playbook was closed on both sides, offense and defense. They were down 21-0 in the first quarter.
After a 3-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 7.
Lion.
Bradford protected well, goes underneath and tipped. It was intended for Jackson. And one of the Redskin defensive linemen got a hand on it.
You know, I know that with all the hits and stuff that this offensive line has been maligned. Watch Roger Saffold, who I think is a very, very good player. Watch him here on one of the better rushers in the league, Brian Arakpo. That is a wrap. And that's all there is to it. I mean, you can hammer these guys all you want. It's not the offensive line exclusively with all the sacks and all the hits. It goes to the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the tight ends. It has been a group effort in terms of the lack of protection.
Pressure picked up. Bradford has to get rid of it and incomplete. He held it as long as he could. Rocky McIntosh came in from his linebacker spot, so they fail again on 3rd down. And the Redskin defense does the job. Jim Haslett's group on 3rd down.
And this is just a break in protection. You'll see 52. He's going to come from all the way out here. Rocky McIntosh, it's just a delayed blitz. He waits for Steven Jackson to get up there and start to block, and then he turns on the jets and is unblocked himself and gets a big shot on Bradford. But that's all about the timing. You're looking at the running back. As soon as he steps up into the line of scrimmage, he put his foot on the gas pedal and got to the quarterback.
Jones puts his foot into this kick, and Banks fumbles the football and got it back at the 25-yard line. He was trying to take off before he had the ball in his hands, and he's a guy who can go from one end to the other.
Chris, if you were 149, 150 pounds, you might try to take off before you got the ball, too.
You run fast.
Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet Volt. It's more car than electric.
Rams have been unable to get anything going offensively. Sam Bradford going over the plays and watching Rex Grossman. Grossman keeps. That's more Chris Cooley, who has run out at the 30-yard line. Chris Cooley telling me before the game that going into that fullback, H-back. He did some of that years ago, but when he carried the ball last week, he said he doesn't like blocking guys up close versus back off a few yards.
He's just such a savvy guy, and he has leaned out now. When you look at his body weight, he's down a lot of weight, and I like it because the secret, especially for the older guys, and he's had some prolific numbers now, but older guys in this league, lose weight at the end of your career and you'll prolong your career.
He lines up as the fullback here for Hightower. Grossman keeps under pressure and batted away. Darian Stewart coming in from his safety spot made the play.
And it's a very common tactic when you play a bootleg team. You send a defensive back off the corner and blitz the side of the boot. And here comes Stewart. They're anticipating a bootleg, so Rex is going to fake the action to the left. He's going to pull it out, and as soon as he turns and looks to unload the ball, he's got a safety right in his grill, right in his face.
3rd and 6. Grossman, pass complete, and Santana Moss goes out of bounds in the arms of Bradley Fletcher. Good enough for a Washington first down.
Good protection. Now here's Moss. He's just going to come run an out route, but the protection is the thing that sets it all up. Chop down Laurinaitis. Good job by Hightower right there. Santana Moss is such a great route runner, Chris. I mean, over the years, remember when he was with the Jets, everybody's talked about his speed. He'll run the go route and he'll run by you. Where he's the most underrated is a guy that's a true specialist and a craftsman when he's running routes.
On first down, Hightower for a loss. James Hall from his end spot. That was only the 9th run. Grossman has put it up 12 times so far in the first half. 2-yard loss, so it'll be 2nd down 12. Grossman sat down and watched film this week with Ashimego Otagwe, the former Rams safety that Sam Bradford used to sit behind on plane rides to gather information.
And what a huge advantage that was for Rex. Just really confirmation. Is this what I think it is? And Otagwe saying it absolutely is.
Hightower bounces off one tackle and is finally brought down short of the 40 by Craig Dahl. The Rams coming in led the NFL in most missed tackles. They've been doing a pretty good job on Hightower and Halou so far, so it'll be 3rd and 8.
I think that's partly a skewed stat. I mean, they've been behind certainly in the first game against Philadelphia in the second half, and then last week they were desperately behind the whole game. Teams are just pounding it at them. And when you're getting 33 runs a game, you're going to miss some tackles.
Defense on the spot again here for the Rams. Gaffney has been the go-to guy on 3rd down for Grossman today.
See if they get after Al Harris at the top of the screen there playing corner.
Grossman slips a tackle and gets rid of it. The pressure was big by the Rams to force him to get rid of it. James Hall and Eugene Sims forcing a 4th down. Get the impression the way this Ram offense is going, Tim, that the defense is going to have to make a big play with a turnover or something like that.
Well, and that fueled them last year. Look, you go back to last year, and they were very good on defense in some critical categories. It was a big part of their 7 wins.
In fact, 29 games it's been since the Rams have had a return of any kind for a score.
Going to get a grounding call here, huh?
On Grossman, the officials huddled. And the intentional grounding call backs him up further. Salvaraka will have more room to kick. You got to try to find the positive, right? Try to look for the positive.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Meanwhile, the Rams, with some of those drops you were talking about from Mike Sims-Walker, could be a different game. They're a little thin at receiver with Amendola out. That's why the rookie Austin Pettis is in there and helping on the return game.
And they really miss Amendola. I mean, that is a huge and was a huge security blanket for the young Sam Bradford. I mean, when in a pinch, you know where to go. You get it to Amendola. So he's been sorely missed.
And both of these teams go to an off week, a bye week after this. So important. The Rams wanted to get a win in somewhere. And the Redskins said, hey, we thought we should be 3-0. We'd like to be 3-1 going to that break.
And remember, the Redskins came in here last year under similar circumstances. The Rams were winless at that point.
That was a game 3.
They ran the Redskins out of the building.
A 30-16 Ram victory where nothing went right for the Redskins. 10:05 to play here in the second quarter. Mike Shanahan said, you know, if we win that game Monday night, everybody says, hey, Grossman's great. He's and you lose it and they start, well, how good is Rex Grossman?
He had one hiccup. He had the drop fumble at the end of the game when Spencer knocked it out. Otherwise, I thought Rex really played well. You go back and really dig into the tape.
And despite the grounding call, he's played well so far here. A high kick. Pettis, no fair catch. Oh, the ball is loose. That's a muffed punt, and the Rams get it back with a gain.
No.
Dominic Curry got on the football.
No, they're going to call it. They didn't give him room to catch it.
There's a flag down.
You've got to give the guy an opportunity to field the punt. Period. Tell you what, Austin Pettis has no fear.
Those special
the
teams.
hang time on that kick, I'd have been calling fair catch when it was halfway up.
He's the son of Gary Pettis, the former outfielder, major leaguer, who was used to settling under fly balls, but dangerous when you have guys on special teams that smell blood in the water.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness hit to a defenseless receiver, number 56 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, first down.
It's on Perry Riley. The Rams, off of the penalty, have a first down. Perry Riley is sweating out the penalty on Pettis.
And listen, the only thing Perry Riley can do differently there is lower his strike zone. A great job of obviously beating the guy trying to block him, getting down the field, ready to deliver a knockout shot and get the ball out. But when a player is defenseless and a punt returner trying to field a punt, and Danny Smith knows that, special teams coach, he is defenseless. You can't hit him in the head anywhere, and that's exactly what Riley did. You got to lower your strike zone and your aiming point.
So that penalty tacked on moves the ball all the way inside the 45 of Washington. The Rams need to get points out of this, trailing 7-0. Bradford to throw, has time, completes in and out of the hands. He had it and couldn't hold on. It's another drop. Michael Human-Nawanui, the tight end.
That is a great throw from Sam Bradford. Watch the safeties here. LaRon Landry, 30. You're going to see, here's a Togway up here, and watch where these guys line up, and then watch where they end up. Togway ends up down the middle of the field, and then they both converge on him. That ball's got to be caught, and again, another huge drop here in this game.
And
that guy's scary now. I may not catch the ball either with that dude trailing me, LaRon Landry.
D'Angelo Hall, slow getting up, had to be helped off the field, so he won't be out there for the next play. We'll see if Sam Bradford can take advantage. Bradford has put the ball in places, but the Rams can't hold on.
He has got elite ability. He's really smart. He stands tall in the pocket. He will hang in there. He'll deliver the ball with accuracy. He's got to get some support. Football, Chris, as you know, is the ultimate team game. Been 4 big drops in this game.
Byron Westbrook comes in for Hall in the corner, and they run it to Steven Jackson. He makes something out of nothing. And Westbrook makes the stop. It'll be third down.
And here's how D'Angelo Hall got hurt. He comes in low to knife out that knee.
On the no huddle, Tim, Steven Jackson the carry, and the Redskins were ready. It'll be 4th and short. And the Rams, you have to figure, would go for it here just outside, closer to the 36-yard line of the Redskins. Trailing 7-0 at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. They need a yard.
Steven Jackson matched up on LaRon Landry. Let's see this.
Pettis in the backfield. Bradford throws that way and completes.
Nice
First down catch. Very creative.
Very creative, because I thought they were going to run it right to Steven Jackson, hand it to him. LaRon Landry was sitting over on the flank by himself. I think Landry was thinking the same thing.
A 4-yard pickup, fresh set of downs, and D'Angelo Hall checks back in for the Redskins. So now at the 31 of Washington, best scoring chance today for the Rams. Bradford. And just off the fingertips, a little bit outside for Mike Sims-Walker. A tough catch.
That's good ball location, though, based on the coverage. It was really the only place Bradford could throw it, with Josh Wilson playing an inside technique and playing inside coverage. Watch 26, Josh Wilson. He's going to play it inside. Perfect ball location. Yes, a little high and a little outside, but one a lot of receivers would catch.
Second down 10. Josh Wilson coming off his best game of the year Monday night against Dallas. Bradford to throw, goes the other way on a screen to Steven Jackson. They'll gain a few, but it'll be 3rd and long. Rocky McIntosh is having quite a first half. He's all over the field. Mike Sims-Walker checks out. Brandon Gibson comes in for the Rams.
There's one wide receiver Sam Bradford's comfortable with. It is Brandon Gibson, from their relationship here last year.
Pressure, tipped and incomplete. And a penalty flag comes in on the back end of the play as Bradford goes down. Adam Carricker, the former Ram first-round selection, was the one who batted the ball. Walt Coleman, his 23rd year, our referee today. And a 3rd down play that the Rams came
Personal
up.
foul, grasping the face mask, number 77, offense. 15-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, what does that do to field goal range here? That's on Jason Smith, who got benched last week because he got a little hot towards
Well,
the
it
second
pushes
half.
him right out of field goal range is what it does. Out at right tackle. Top of your screen here, watch Jason Smith going against Ryan Kerrigan, and there's the grab and the pull.
So now it's 3rd and 22 from back where they started all this, or near that mark. The 43 of Washington. Bradford, halftime, goes down, ball's out. Redskins have it. On the recovery is Barry Cofield. Kerrigan knocked the ball loose from Bradford.
Ryan Kerrigan has got such a great motor. He just doesn't stop, and he's going to get a second opportunity here because Bradford feels the pressure, then tries to spin out of it. And now Kerrigan, who goes by 2 guys, just comes and swats that football out. Not great awareness or pocket presence there by Sam Bradford, who was expecting to be taken down there. Got a second life, which gave a second opportunity to Kerrigan, who came around and knocked it out. This guy does not play like a rookie. No chance when you look at Ryan Kerrigan, and his impact on this defense has been huge.
The experience of Cofield and the youth of Kerrigan. First down, Grossman sets up middle of the field, complete to Gaffney. The Redskins lead 7-0, and they're in position for more. A quick turn of events for the Rams after that penalty.
And they've done it all to themselves, and Steve Spagnuolo knows it. It's been the drops, it's been the penalty. How costly was that penalty by Jason Smith? You said it. They're down in field goal range. He ends up, I mean, he doesn't get that face mask. They got an opportunity and a sure opportunity to get 3 points.
And now the defense has to try and keep it close. Ryan Terrain is in it, running back for Washington. He gets the carry, and Ryan Terrain out of the 20. Bouncing off Darian Stewart. He was the leading rusher for the Redskins last year. Now he's 3rd behind Hightower and Halou.
Yeah, and Mike Shanahan keeps them all motivated, too. These guys run with attitude and desire. Listen to this as Stewart tries to come up and hit him. Listen to this.
The clank of pads.
Yeah, you don't want any part of that, Chris. You'll be holding the clipboard again.
That's why I'm up here with you. After a 7-yard pickup. Ryan Terrain carries again, and that is a Redskin touchdown. A 20-yard dash for Ryan Terrain.
Watch this block right here by the left guard, Corey Lichtensteiger. He is just going to get locked up on the backer. I believe that was Ben Lieber, who could not disengage. That got it going. That created the big hole for Terrain, who just gets downhill with that big body. Not a great angle by the safety. No chance. And again to the left side, where they've been super effective in their run game all year.
So Graham Gano makes it 14-0. 3 plays, 44 yards. And it comes after the fumble recovered by Barry Cofield. He's tough. So Cofield got the ball after Kerrigan forced it, and then Ryan Terrain in the middle took it in for a 14-0 Redskin advantage.
Is there anybody better than Mike Shanahan in keeping the running backs motivated?
Boy, he throws them out there, they all deliver.
And he always stays with the hot hand. Let's see what he does here this afternoon.
Austin Pettis, and a penalty flag comes in as he gets out across the 25-yard line. It was a penalty that did end the Ram drive, or at least contributed to it. And then Bradford was sacked and turned the ball over. Otherwise, Rams might be moving in for a potential tying score.
During the return, holding number 84 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Denario Alexander. I mentioned that Grossman sat and watched film with former Ram Shimago Otagwe. And he's a guy who certainly helped out Sam Bradford.
They miss him now. He was a very, very good player, and a guy who could get takeaways and turnovers, and we like to call splash plays, all over the place for the Rams.
Free agent who made a career here with the Rams. Now a Redskin, and Steven Jackson the carry.
Tell you one thing that Otagwe says that he misses about St. Louis is he misses no traffic living down there in Washington now. Said it's crazy, gridlock all the time.
He said that he would text some people, but didn't want to talk too much during the week to some of his former teammates. Also have Adam Carricker, who's a former Ram. Of course, Jim Haslett we talked about. But
how about Fletch? How about London Fletcher about 10 years ago here lighting it up?
His 212th consecutive start. On 2nd and 7. Bradford, what a grab. Brandon Gibson does hang on. That's progress. First down for the Rams after a 14-yard pickup. That wasn't an easy catch.
No, and he almost dropped it. Watch this ball come out. Sam Bradford, perfect ball location. Look at, he bobbled that one a little bit.
You know, Brandon Gibson, we were just talking about Otagwe, and what did O.J. Otagwe say that he worked when it was the Rams? He would quiz him.
Well, he said, go study all the corners that you're playing against and then write me up a report and we'll talk about it.
Made him a better receiver.
Love that.
Jackson carries. And the Redskins are already there. Again, Rocky McIntosh as dominant a figure defensively in this first half. There's a flag down.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 77 was the end of the line. That penalty's declined. Second down.
So they'll turn down the penalty.
Watch McIntosh here. Watch 52, who you can't play this perfectly. He knows this is coming before they even snap the ball. Look at, he's just sitting right in his gap of responsibility. He knows he's got Steven Jackson. If he comes up into that spot, there was nowhere else for Steven to go. That was perfect by Rocky McIntosh.
Second down 9. Bradford throws and completes towards the sideline, but that's well short of the first down. That's Billy Bajema on the catch.
And we've already seen another rough afternoon for Jason Smith, the right tackle. Remember last week against Baltimore, He had a couple of huge penalties in that game, ended up getting benched for Adam Goldberg, and there's been a couple of critical errors here in this one as well, in particular that face mask that pushed him out of field goal range. This guy was a number 2 overall pick 3 years ago.
On 3rd and 5, how will he protect Bradford? Complete. First down across the 40, Lance Kendricks, the rookie from Wisconsin. Eight-yard completion. They're moving the chains. It's not a bad radio show, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
From the 41-yard line, the Rams need points, trailing 14-0. Got to keep the home crowd in it. Bradford for Jackson. He does hold on. And we'll bring up second down as we inch closer to the 2-minute mark.
And this is what they got to do. This is what I was talking about with Sam Bradford earlier. Taking all those shots and getting all those hits and not being in sync with the wide receivers. It's got to be gun, fast pass. Get in the shotgun, let him step, hitch a couple of times, and get the ball out early. Get a little confidence going in their passing game, which is really against the grain for which Josh McDaniels wants to do offensively.
Jackson runs right into Redskin defenders. Rob Jackson got into the backfield at the 45-yard line. It'll bring up, of the Rams, a 3rd down. Each team with all 3 of their timeouts remaining, and we have hit the 2-minute warning. Redskins lead 14-0. Former Ram O.J. Shimago Atagwe married the daughter of Hall of Famer Mike Singletary.
Yep, you know who was a groomsman in his wedding was Ronald Bartel, one of the corners here for St. Louis on injured reserve now. They really miss him, but Atagwe is multifaceted. Smart guy, just sitting and talking to him, and
a team leader.
Yeah, absolutely. Really well-rounded.
Wherever he goes. All right, 3rd down and 6 for Bradford.
Biggest play of the first half for these guys. They're 1 of 7 on 3rd down. They've got to get a first here to keep something going and not give the ball back to the Redskins.
And somebody jumped.
False start, number 88, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Another Ram penalty.
You know, this just kills you as a coach. And I know they put a lot on the table for Lance Kendricks, but Steve Spagnuolo, you practice, you rep all this stuff. And then you get out here, when you got to do it for real, you shoot yourself in the foot. Unacceptable.
So now it's 3rd and 11, so Jim Haslett and that defense can come after Bradford. And the Ram receivers have to get downfield.
Another one.
False start, number 60, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's on the veteran Jason Brown. 5 penalties, 40 yards. These are the drop passes, penalties. You talk about self-inflicted problems.
Spags is agitated. Steve Spagnuolo, the head coach there, and he is. You talk about a nice guy. They don't get any nicer than him. We sat and talked to him the other day. We could both tell him talking to him. He is deep down in his bunker trying to get this thing, Chris, figured out.
59 to Mike. Out, Bob, go.
Bradford for Denario Alexander, overthrown, and it'll be 4th down for the Rams. And again, he got knocked down. The most pressured quarterback, the most hit quarterback when you include everything this season, and the Redskins aren't letting up. So the Redskins will have a chance to add to their 14-0 lead. Donnie Jones back to punt, and Brandon Banks standing inside his 25-yard line. Fair catch, and he let it bounce. And that's going to go inside the 5. Let's see, they're going to call it a touchback. Yes. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Let's see what Kurt Menefee has coming up at the half.
All right, guys, coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, everybody's hard at work here, getting all the scores and the highlights ready from a busy Week 4, including the Buffalo Bills trying to go to 4-0, and a big battle between the Steelers and the Texans. It's all coming up on the Visa Halftime.
Thanks, Kurt. Cowboys are winning over Detroit 17-3. We'll keep you up to date on all the scores and the highlights. Buffalo undefeated, and they're ahead.
It's like Carolina making a comeback on Chicago.
Let's take a closer look as they replay upstairs wants to take a closer look. His foot on the line. It's a 65-yard punt.
Yeah, they're going to review this upstairs for sure.
Well, with all 3 timeouts remaining.
Previous play is under review.
So remember, you can't slide or have any momentum, right? You clearly have to throw the ball back and down it with your feet firmly planted.
Well, I think it's all about Curry, and did he have his foot over the line when he touched this thing? That foot is not over the line. It's inside the line. You see that right there. Now the football is going to come back out in the field of play.
So
this is going to end up getting down right there with a Ram player right there at about the 3-yard line. That is a great job. Again, watch the foot. The left foot is not even on the white stripe. It's before the white stripe. He touches the ball, bats it back into the field of play.
And Britt Miller recovers inside the 5.
It's going to be on the 4-yard line. That's right. There it is
again.
You
can see the green in between the shoe and the white line. So that'll give the Ram defense, if they mark it back inside the 5 on the hustle of Curry, a better opportunity. A booth review on the field. It was called a touchback by the officials. And we're inside of 2 minutes here, so they're taking a closer look.
Well, and that really was a great job of recovery there, because they lost the ball in the air. When the ball came down, you saw Dominique Curry. He lost it, and Gordy, they didn't know where the ball was.
Banks.
They were veering off to the left towards Banks. The ball bounced, went to the goal line. Both of those guys stepped on the gas pedal and accelerated all the way to the goal line, and by about an inch, were able to pop it back into the field of play.
Brandon Banks waving for the fair catch, but stepped away as the ball bounced. For Steve Spagnuolo, every bounce of the football matters here. And if you do pin them inside the 5 on this call and your defense can do something, at least you can come out of here with points.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, I don't know what they saw, but what we saw.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong call.
It looked like the ball was clearly thrown back before
and
his
never
foot was
touched
in the
anything
end zone.
in the end zone. His foot was outside the field of play, or in the field of play, outside the end zone right there.
Grossman on first down throws incomplete, intended for Santana Moss. So from the 20 now, it'll be 2nd down 10 Redskins. Grossman 8 out of 15. He has the touchdown pass to Moss in this game. Ryan Terrain a touchdown run, and that's where we stand at 14-0. The Rams have been inefficient on offense, to be polite, and penalties have hurt, as they have all season long. Hightower the back. And Hightower gets it, skips 1 tackle, and is knocked down at the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Rams have 3 timeouts, as do the Redskins. And they're not going to use it here. So that was a 9-yard pickup. Roy Halou comes in on 3rd and 1.
Boy, I'm a little surprised the Rams did not use one of their timeouts there to stop the clock, to where hopefully get a stop and give their offense an opportunity after a punt with 3 timeouts remaining.
Grossman is going to let the clock run down and take a timeout. So almost a minute went by. Washington uses a timeout, so they'll have 2 remaining. Tim, you and I talked about last year. It was game 3 when the Rams were winless and the Redskins came into St. Louis. McNabb was the quarterback at the time on a 14-game home losing streak for the Rams, but they outscored the Redskins in the second half 16-13. Sam Bradford got his first career win. 30-16 was the final. Some of the Redskins who remained from that group last year said we don't want that to happen again.
I think a great barometer for them, that did they get better between then and now? Clearly they've gotten better, Chris, and the Rams have regressed in all 3 phases.
It should have been intercepted. It was right in the hands of Darian Stewart.
He is playing good. If there's one Ram that's really playing well here in this game, it's safety Darian Stewart here in his second year. He is all over this, reading the eyes. Look at his eyes. His eyes were on Rex Grossman the whole way. He put himself in good position by getting to the proper landmark. Well, another drop for the Rams, because that one could have come back to the house.
Even on defense.
Missed opportunity. Good play, but missed opportunity, not finishing.
So Savaraka to boot. The Rams let a lot of time run off that clock, which could have an effect.
That's a headshot again.
Yeah, you can't go high. You talk about that strike zone.
And Pettis is down. Pettis is not moving.
Well, now he's starting to get up, but needing help.
I mean, this guy is fearless. I don't know if they had told him not to call for a fair catch, but the way Raka is booming these things, he is defenseless in the process of making the catch. He cannot get hit anywhere in the neck or head. That is helmet to helmet from Niles Paul on Austin Pettis. And that's twice in a row.
You can hear the helmet.
I mean, that is a perfect definition of going helmet to helmet on a defenseless player, and that's what they've got to get out of pro
It's
football.
the helmet. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
So this one on Paul was Perry Riley before. We just hope that Pettis is okay.
Look, you love the fact, the hustle of getting down there ready to deliver the big shot, but you got to lower your strike zone to the 1 and the 8, to number 18.
You got to be a little smarter too about fielding the punt.
You can't blow a guy's chin up
one way or another. So the good news for the Rams, they have the football you tack on the penalty, but they let so much time run off the clock that even with their timeouts, only 34 seconds remain, and we hope that Pettis is okay.
Well, you know those Boise State players, they'll just cowboy up. That guy, no wonder he's not calling any fair catches. He's got no fear. We did those guys a couple years ago in a few Fiesta Bowls. I mean, that mentality from Boise State, they get after it.
Third-round draft pick who is seeing stars, and I don't mean Sam Bradford. Coming up, the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. All the scores and highlights from around the league. Eagles ahead of the 49ers. The Cowboys are winning. And the Fox Sports ticker. Bradford better get rid of it. He goes down at the 15-yard line. Stephen Bowen was part of that. And Brian Orakpo, pressure from the outside. Third sack for the Redskins.
And there's nowhere to go with the ball here. And watch this sack clock right here. He's stepping up. He's stepping up. You want that ball out in about 3 seconds. He's stepping up, and all the receivers had their backs to him. There was nowhere to go with the ball.
And the Redskins use a timeout. They have one remaining. It'll be second down for the Rams.
And you can see the frustration in Sam Bradford's face. I mean, the frustration, the confusion. He just can't. I mean, they can't protect him. He is the most pressured guy in pro football, and look at what's happened here today.
Protect him or help him out. I mean, to talk about the drop passes, the penalties, you're just digging a bigger hole for a guy who has talent but doesn't have an opportunity to show it. So Steven Jackson will carry. Kerrigan makes the stop, and they will need their big group because their season is on a hinge here. The Redskins with a touchdown pass from Grossman to Moss and a Ryan Terrain run have a 14-0 lead. The Ram defense is hung tough. The offense not so much. It's the end of the first half. Redskins lead 14-0. Fox NFL Sunday continues with a Visa halftime report coming up. You've noticed pink all over the field. Join the NFL, a crucial campaign in the fight against breast cancer. Visit NFL.com/auction to begin bidding on authentic game-worn NFL pink products. All proceeds benefit the American Cancer Society October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The half here with Tim Wyatt and Chris Myers. And, you know, if improbable comebacks, something St. Louis wants to believe in, they think of their Cardinal baseball team, which rallied to get into the postseason, trailing 14-0. Have you seen anything from this Ram team that you think could dig them out of the hole?
Well, I wish I was in that locker room at halftime. I promise you, because there would have been some helmets rolling and some lockers getting smashed. These guys should be angry at what they did here in the first half with the missed opportunities, the drops. And we see a couple of them there with chances to make plays. Stupid penalties on a huge third down. You do it on consecutive downs. They've really got no one to blame but themselves. Look, I think Sam Bradford has made some good plays, but the self-destruction, the drops, the penalties, and the protection, honestly, has been terrible. That's got to get better.
Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. You almost sound angry, Tim.
Well, I think that these players should be angry.
Meanwhile, the Redskins on the road, trying to go to 3-1. Grossman has been steady. The one of the drops you talked about was an interception possibility, that otherwise Grossman's been on target much of the day.
Yeah, and I think what you got to talk about with the Redskins, and we talked about it in the open, is they got their running game back on track after what happened at Dallas last week. And Ryan Torain, who we haven't seen this year, really had the big pop for the touchdown.
Brandon Banks, Redskins get the ball to start the second half. And Banks knocked down at the 18-yard line. And let's check in with Rhea Avent down on the field.
Hi, Chris. Well, I talked to Coach Spagnuolo, and he said the mental mistakes have got to stop. The drop passes, the penalties, there's absolutely no excuse for that. He said we need to get back to basics, and on defense, we need to do a better job of stopping things on third down. He said that is going to be crucial. That's what we need to work on, and that's what he's looking at as far as moving forward, guys.
That's a great point, Trey. Think of this. The Redskins, 4 of 8, 50% on third down. That's outstanding. The Rams are 1 for 8.
Ryan Torain, who touched the football for the first time this year in the first half of this game, starts the second half with a carry. He has the 20-yard touchdown run. Hightower started. We saw some Roy Halou, and now Ryan Torain.
Shanahan told us he'll stick with the hot hand, and that's his history, Mike Shanahan. He gets a back that gets cranked up and gets lathered up, starts making big plays. He's going to roll with him.
He was almost offended when I asked him weeks ago about you can plug in any back, and they seem to work in your system.
He was offended, Chris. Not almost. He was.
He handpicks those backs to fit his system, and it seems to work on 2nd and 8. And there goes Torain. Near the first down. Appears to be a bit short. Darian Stewart, who's what a good first half for the Rams on defense, making the stop.
He's been the best player in the first half. You know, this for the Rams, the Redskins, and I think Chris Foerster does a very, very good job with the offensive line and coaching up that zone scheme, which is really everyone coming off on a zone track and playing together, and a lot of combination blocks. That 66 right there, Chris Chester, what a great addition with his athleticism, works perfectly in this zone scheme.
Roy Halou checks in and gets the pitch and gets the first down. Chris Cooley checked in on that play as the fullback. So we go back to Halou. Ram defense doesn't know who's coming at him. 7-yard pickup.
He's going to get a nice block out to the left too. Watch this. So they call it the flip 90. Watch Niles Paul get a nice block. And they put all the motion to the right, and then they flip it out to the 9 hole. That's why they call it flip 90, and try to get some misdirection stuff. Capitalized on some quality blocks by the wideouts.
All right, Torain is back in. He gets the carry and slices through. Ryan Torain inside the 30 before Quentin Michael ran him down. Well-rested Ryan Torain getting his first workout this season at a 39-yard run.
And he's going to read this block right here by Chris Chester. Chris Chester comes out. Oh, okay. You see that. You see the defensive tackle play to the outside. That's the read in the zone scheme. Ryan Torain has got his eyes on that defensive tackle. Is that defensive tackle flashes to the outside like he did? Torain, as you always hear, put your foot in the ground, one cut, get downhill. That was perfect. Great vision by Torain.
This time it's Roy Halou, and the Rams are there to bottle him up. James Laurinaitis leading the way.
And that's what they always talk about of it being a one-read zone running scheme. It's really one read for the back. He's got his eyes on that defensive tackle. That guy plays to the inside, he stays outside. If the D tackle plays to the outside, he's going to stick his foot in the ground. He's going to cut hard up inside. Perfect.
Makes it easy. A 3-pronged attack for Mike Shanahan, and they've all done what they needed to do. 2nd down 9. Rams need a stop or the hole gets bigger. Grossman. Incomplete. It'll be third down. The only turnover in this game.
Did that ball get back to the line of scrimmage?
I believe.
You roll out of the pocket, you can throw it away out of the pocket, but it's got to get past the line of scrimmage.
He already had one intentional grounding call.
That should have been grounding. That ball did not get past the line of scrimmage.
The line of scrimmage is 32 or just inside. Let's take a look. He's out of the pocket.
No, had to hit it at 34. That's a missed grounding call by the referees.
3rd and 9. The screen to Fred Davis. Knocked down by Craig Dahl short of the first down. They've gone to Fred Davis in his direction, but first time he's got his hands on the football today. So Graham Gano will come out and try and add to the Redskins lead. He's had some adventures in each of the first 3 games, but the Redskins, the good news is they've won 2 of them, 6 out of 9. He's had a miss, a couple of blocks, and this one will be 38 yards. The kick is good. Redskins come out, put up 3. They have a 17-0 third quarter advantage.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By Pizza Hut. Your favorite plays deserve your favorite pizza. Your favorites, your Pizza Hut. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Steve Spagnuolo, who was once an intern for the Redskins back in 1983 in the scouting department, encouraging Darian Stewart, who Tim, you just said moments ago, is probably playing the best of any of the players, maybe offense or defense.
Yeah, he's the best Ram on the field today.
Now Quinn Porter back as James Laurinaitis is trying to rally the troops, trailing 17-0.
And I guarantee he's talking about that long zone run from Ryan Torain that creased him for fat yardage.
And this is deep in the end zone and wisely. The Rams will get it on the 20-yard line. So Ryan Torain, he's the game's leading rusher. He has a touchdown run, and the Redskins have a 17-0 lead. Next weekend on the FX Saturday College Football Game of the Week, Charles Davis, Gus Johnson in Lubbock, Texas. The final Big 12 meeting between 2 historic rivals, Texas Tech and the Texas A&M Aggies. The FX Saturday College Game of the Week in high definition. Check the start time and local listing on FX in your area. 1st and 10, Bradford. Incomplete. The Redskins defense has had quite a dramatic turnaround from last year, and this the 4th game of the leaders today. And you talked about a rookie who doesn't play like one, adjusting from Purdue, and Barry Cofield had the fumble recovery, the only turnover in the game so far. Rocky McIntosh has been all over the field. On 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Bradford. And that is in and out of the hands of Lance Kendricks, a catchable ball. You know, I mentioned what else can Bradford do?
Well, if Bradford's getting rocked too in the pocket, I mean, he is hanging in there, knowing he's going to take a shot, waiting for his routes to develop downfield. And then while he's getting hit, he throws a good ball, and once again, it ends up on the turf.
The only turnover, the fumble by Bradford. When the Rams have been on the negative side of the turnover battle, they've lost their last 40 straight games. Not good news. On 3rd and 10. Bradford hit again, throws incomplete. Kendricks, the intended receiver, and they were booing last week in the blowout home loss to Baltimore, and here comes
Look at the blood on his pants.
Blues today.
And he gets rocked in the hat here. Watch Cofield, who's going to work and then eventually get back inside here on Harvey Dahl, and he's going to go hat to hat, helmet to helmet on Sam Bradford. Bang.
3rd 3 and out today, and you haven't run into a coach, offense or defense, Tim, in the NFL who doesn't think Bradford is a star and is going to be a bigger star.
He's such a terrific talent.
But you got to let him play and help him out.
Well, football is the ultimate team sport. You got to have 10 guys on your team on the same page with you. That hasn't happened.
Excellent special teams play on Brandon Banks. Dominic Curry brings Banks down. Sam Bradford taking the hits and trailing here at home.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL from your Verizon phone to get NFL Mobile.
Jim Haslett dialing up the right calls on defense today.
They've been outstanding. Just barely over 100 yards of total offense for the Rams. And I'm glad we showed those defensive leaders. What did Haslett tell us at the end of last year? I need a nose tackle and I need another outside linebacker. He's got him.
Grossman to throw. Goes underneath to Fred Davis. Short of the first down. You talked about how it's a complex defense and new players, and yet they've made it work.
Well, I think they're really good teachers. I think Bob Slowick, the secondary coach, he was our defensive coordinator in Chicago when I was there. He's a really good teacher. And when you add guys like Otagwe, who are super smart and who have played a lot of football and have logged a lot of starts, it's an easier assimilation and transition when you try to get those guys up to speed. But it really is all about being a good teacher.
Ryan Terrain, look out! Like a freight train to midfield. A 16-yard run.
And Ben Lieber read it perfectly. He keyed the play. He read his keys. He diagnosed what it was. Ben Lieber jumped right up into the hole. Here's Lieber right here. He does everything right. He's going to get right in the hole to make the tackle. And
what did you just say to me at the break? Watch, the Redskins are going to run it down their throats.
Rex, well, I'll be surprised if Rex Grossman, that is a big man moving, has 30 passing attempts in this game when it's all said and done.
Fantasy league players are saying, why did I play Terrain? 7th carry. He's already got over 90 yards. And the touchdown. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call star NFL to get National Football League action right on your phone. And that look tells you what Ram fans are feeling and have felt all season long. Going to an off week, they didn't want to be 0-4. Meanwhile, the Redskins wanted to get to 3-1.
Well, and you know how coaches do it. They all look at the first 4 games as getting to the quarter pole and break the season down in 4s.
Terrain slips out of another tackle, gets near a first down at the 41-yard line of the Rams. Closing in on a 100-yard day is Ryan Terrain.
Well, we showed the Ben Lieber missed tackle, and that was for a bigger chunk, but this time it's Brady Papinga who comes from the backside. Here's Papinga. He's going to slow play this on the backside, waiting for the cutback. And again, he's in perfect position. He's sitting right there, misses the tackle.
So it's 3rd and 1, Tim, with 3 tight ends in. A chance for the Ram defense.
We're going to get the Chris Cooley dive play. You saw it last week.
They tried it twice, and 1 out of 2. And Rex Grossman wants time. So facing 3rd and 1, and with a 17-0 lead, the Redskins will talk it over. Here in St. Louis, the eyes
that says it all. I mean, he looks like he's in shock, like he's asking his brain answers and his brain's not providing anything.
He also looks pretty steamed because he knows how important this game is for the entire season for the Rams. Meanwhile, Grossman has the football, and is he going to run for a first down?
Must be the 12 pounds he dropped, Chris. Well, I couldn't believe you were hitting him with that yesterday. Well, you were killing me.
I did. He said he was focusing on improving his game mentally, and I asked about physically. He did get the first down. He said, I came in, to be honest, a little overweight with the lockout, you know. And
well, I like what you said first. You know, I could lose a couple, but what do you think?
We could all lose a few pounds.
Then I looked at him. I said, Rex, are you out of shape or not?
I felt bad. I went over in pregame. I said, I hope you weren't offended. He said, no, that's okay. Maybe I'll look. He said, my wife, oh, look at this. As Ryan Terrain carries. He said, my wife and mom want me to keep the weight on so I can take the hits when I need to. But the important thing for Grossman, no turnovers today. And you know, Tim, you get the feeling with this defense that you've talked about and the running game of Mike Shanahan, if there's a steady hand from Grossman, this is a division contender and a playoff
There's
contender.
no question about it. And I think they're very, very well coached. As we know, they've got a stable of running backs. Defensively, they're tremendously upgraded. It's really about Rex being more consistent other than streaky, and he has certainly got that in his repertoire.
He's rolling the other way. Grossman gets rid of it, tipped and incomplete.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about the streaky take a chance Rex. Forget it. Throw it out of bounds. Rolls all the way to his left.
Yeah,
you're up 17 points, and there's about 15 Ram defenders back to the inside. Gonna fake this way. Now he's going to come out to the left. And then now watch all the blue jerseys as he tries to squeeze this thing back inside.
Now, he did say even if he was 20 pounds lighter, he wouldn't be that much quicker. He was always slow of foot. So at least he gives us a candid assessment on third down. They only need 3.
Watch Moss. Moss is their third down crusher.
It's going to be a delay of game.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
So that'll change Kyle Shanahan's call. And it hurts your field goal possibility if you
see the look on Chris Verster's face, the offensive line coach right behind Kyle Shanahan.
I'll make a note of that.
Oh.
So now it's 3rd and 8 from just inside the 39. Fumble. On it quick was Hightower. Looked like Grossman was not ready for the snap. The noise may have had something to do with it. Those fans that are here are loyal and angry.
Yeah, Rex wasn't ready. Rex definitely wasn't ready. Will Montgomery turned around. Rex gave him the signal, and he figured Rex was ready to go. Then Rex looked out to the side, started patting his helmet to his wide receiver. Montgomery snapped it when he absolutely wasn't ready for the snap.
Mr. Inside the 20. And Sabraka does it again. There's a flag down back at the 45-yard line where the punter stood. I noticed it wasn't Pettis back there. It was Porter. Rams special teams coach Tom McMahon looking on. Waiting for the call.
Holding. Number 24. Kicking team. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Son DeJon Gomes, backup defensive back, so they're going to make him re-kick this.
At the 10-yard penalty on to the dead ball spot. 1st down.
Yeah, you got the option to force a re-kick, or you can add the yardage on the return. And Steve Spagnuolo has just chosen tack on 10. We'll take the ball.
Hey, the way his punt returners have been getting nailed, good call. Baseball's regular season had an unbelievable night of drama, and now the American League's 4 remaining teams will go to their brightest stars and try to get to that next level, the American League Championship Series, and get closer to the World Series. You'll see the ALCS and Fox's coverage of baseball's postseason Saturday, Game 1 of the ALCS, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on Fox. On first down, Steven Jackson. His 15th carry of the game, but trailing 17-0 at some point. That part of the playbook is pushed aside.
Well, they're just trying to, they're just trying to give Sam Bradford a little help on the 2nd and 3rd down opportunities, so they're not 3rd and super long. So they'll run Stevens on the early down, but down 17 points, and I know there's still a lot of time left to go in this game. They're going to have to get to that passing part of the playbook heavily here.
And that means Jim Haslett can dial up the blitz. Bradford keeps and is hit and goes down.
Oh,
Ryan Orakpo got to him. That's the 4th sack.
And Sam's been under pressure all day long, and it's come from both sides. This time from his right. Now he's going to get it from his right again. The ball comes out. This time it comes from his left. There's a Rakpo. This time it's right up the gut with LaRon Landry. Follow the blood trail right to the quarterback, and it was a Rakpo that last time. And look at this. Look at where the heats come from. 11 from the right, 12 from the left. And have gotten sacks from both sides.
Where will it come from on third down? Bradford behind and incomplete. Lance Hendricks, the intended receiver. Kendricks, I'm sorry. Kendricks, the draft pick, second round pick out of Wisconsin. So now it's fourth down.
I mean, it's almost like when Sam releases the ball and distributes it, he knows his guys aren't going to catch it.
Well, are they getting open? And if they do, can they hold on to the
what's
football?
open in this league? Open in this league is a guy right on your hip, and the quarterback puts the ball in good location, and guess what? In traffic, you catch it and pull it down. That's pro football.
Whistle blows before the snap, and this is another Ram penalty.
False start, number 15, offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
So that one's on Dominic Curry. 7th penalty of the game for the Rams, who came in with the second most yards penalized. Steve Spagnuolo tried to be positive. And not showing signs of a team ready to break out of their problems. And it's fair catch. They give him room, and he's at the 40, where the Redskins will take over the 42-yard kick. And Sam Bradford may have injured his hand. We'll watch closely as he's checking it out. Remember, he had a toe injury early in the season.
And remember, he had a finger injury early in the season as well. And he definitely, that right hand, as he followed through, he came down and he hit Barry Cofield's hand with his throwing hand. And remember, it was that index finger on that throwing hand early in the year against Philadelphia that was a problem.
And again, every snap last year, but A.J. Feely already spelled him earlier in one of the games this season. Hightower is back in. Gets across the 40. Let's get a game break. Let's check in again with Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Lions need some help against the Cowboys today, and they get it from the former first-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys, Bobby Carpenter. Now a linebacker in Detroit picks off Tony Romo, takes it back 35 yards for the touchdown, and it gets him back in the game, 27-10 right now in the third. Chris and Tim.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Redskins, Cowboys winning. The Eagles are winning. The Giants play later in the NFC East. And the Rams would hope to rally here.
And he and that guy, Laurinaitis, were pretty good teammates. Carpenter and Laurinaitis at Ohio State.
Excellent defense against the run as Chris Long ran down Ryan Torain. Chris Long wearing the number 91 this year.
What happened to 72?
He grew up, of course, in Virginia. That's Redskin territory. And it looks like LaRon Landry heading to the locker room for the Redskins. Check on that. Chris Long with three sacks so far this season. And could use one here.
Yeah. And if this crowd responds to anybody, it's this dude right here, Chris Long, when he makes a big play. This crowd ignites.
Blitz is on. They pick it up. Grossman throws and completes. That's Santana Moss. First down.
Now, when he's dropping in a little zone pressure, they're bringing pressure from the other side. They have Chris Long drop to the flat, so he's in charge. Here's Chris Long right here. He's going to flash now. He's going to drop out to this area. He's in charge of anybody that comes in here as far as the receivers go. He's going to get right out to his little zone spot. There's his landmark. He already knows he's in trouble when Santana Moss stuck his foot in the ground and started peeling to the outside.
Blitz run. Ryan Torain near the 40.
How can you not be impressed with Ryan Torain, who Shanahan's been talking about for 2 years as the guy? He broke his hand, remember, in training camp. His vision is sickening good. 169 rush yards. Quentin Michael was coming on a blitz there. He saw it the whole way before he got a handoff and then popped outside around the pressure player, the fill player, who was Quentin Michael. This guy's good.
113 yards of that on the ground from Torain. He gets the carry again. powering near the 35 before being pushed back. He looks bigger than 6'1". He gets out.
Yeah, he looks bigger than 216 pounds. He's long and angular when you look at his body type.
He got the first down, Tim, so they're chewing up the clock. They're moving the football, and they're keeping it away from Sam Bradford.
That might be a good thing for Bradford.
At least he's not going to get hit sitting over there. Terrain again. Down to the 30. A penalty flag comes in, and there's a Ram at the 40 who is slow getting up. James Hall.
Holding, number 63, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
John Redskins center Will Montgomery. I'll back him up.
That little shift in the offensive line from last year to this year has made a huge difference for Mike Shanahan and the Redskins. Moving Will Montgomery from left guard to center. From right guard to center, keeping Lichtensteiger in there at guard, and then bringing in Chris Chester. So you shake up 2 of the 3 on the inside trio, the center and both guards, and it's made a huge difference in their run game.
Grossman. Pass is caught, falling to the ground on Fred Davis on the throw. It'll be second down. Fred Davis came in with the most receiving yards of anybody on this Redskin team. So now it's 2nd and 13 as they cut into that penalty yardage.
Not even the most receiving yards, but what goes to that is the most explosive plays. I mean, this game is about explosive plays of 20+ on either the run or the passing game. He came in leading the Redskins in all tight ends with 7 plays. Fred Davis over 20 yards.
The balance has worked today for Kyle and Mike Shanahan. Engineered by Rex Grossman. Quick pass to Santana Moss. Penalty flag comes in on the end of the play. Al Harris, who will be 37 years old in December, in on the nickel coverage.
They might get Trent Williams out here on the edge. So the left tackle against Justin King, I believe.
Redskins starting to have some problems with penalties, but they have a 17-0 lead.
Holding, number 71, offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
There's Trent Williams there, 71. Justin King, who he's trying to get his hands on. And just basically wraps his left arm around his neck and rips him out to the side.
Ball back at the 46-yard line. Clock winding down here in the third quarter. And the clock, the enemy of the Rams. As Ryan Terrain remains the back. He came in after Hightower started, and Roy Halou gets 6 carries. Pass is complete. Sliding to the turf is Fred Davis. And that is the end of the third quarter. The Redskins 17, the Rams nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. Steady Rex Gross with a touchdown pass to Santana Moss, who has 4 catches, and Ryan Terrain, the third back to enter the game for Mike Shanahan's offense, over 100 yards and a touchdown. And despite a short week, the Redskins protecting a 17-0 lead.
And you got to give them a lot of credit for that. I talked about them being emotionally drained. These cats are emotionally stimulated. Terrain's been a big catalyst to that here in this second half.
On third down, Grossman to Gaffney. And the second half yardage, more than 150 yards for the Redskins, -4 for the Rams. And the overall numbers through 3 quarters, the dominance of Washington is evident.
307 to 99 in total yards. Look at the sacks. Sacked 4 times to 0, more than, or right around 10 minutes, and an advantage at time of possession. And a big chunk of that has been here in the second half. Redskins have dominated. Kyle Shanahan has been flawless in his play calling. And Chris, it's been terrific balance when you look at it. Only 24 throws for Rex Grossman. He has been on point.
What wasn't on there, drop passes. The Rams had quite a few early, including an interception that shifted this game.
Ball's out.
Terrain had the carry. Let's see who has the football. Redskins got it back. Looked like Terrain recovered his own fumble.
He's going to cut it back on the zone to the right. Here he cuts it back, and Bannon was getting in on the tackle. Couldn't tell if he hit it with his helmet, but that ball just popped out. Yeah, it did. It looked like he hit it with either his shoulder or his helmet, and it just dislodged it from Ryan Terrain.
Redskins have turned it over at least once in 17 straight games. So far, no turnovers here. Spagnola's team could have used that to try and get back in it. Terrain spins out of a tackle, but is eventually brought down by the third wave of Rams. Quentin Michael up from the safety spot.
One thing about all three of these backs, and it's been Terrain here really second quarter and on getting the bulk of the carries, is every one of them runs angry. Like it may be their last one, with looking over their shoulder with the head coach over there evaluating them play by play.
A third down from the 26. Tim Hightower checks in. Roy Halou looks on, and Terrain catches a breather.
Watch Hightower in protection here. Oh,
Intercepted through the hands and picked off by Justin King, and run down by Hightower. That turnover string continues for the Redskins, and a tough break for Grossman.
and this one's not on Rex, and it's picked up right. He sees the guy to go to. First of all, Hightower in protection perfectly. Here comes the crosser from the left side. Moss there. And that ball just hit him right in the hands. Santana dropped it up in the air. Tips and overthrows over the middle of the field can be disastrous. That one's on Santana Moss. And boy, what a break for the St. Louis Rams. My goodness, Chris, did they need that.
Bradford to the air right away to Bagina. Inside the 25. Justin King was torched last week when the Ravens came to town and tried to make adjustments, and he came back with the interception here.
We have yet to see Jim Haslett run his patented zero blitz, where he's got zero safeties down the middle of the field and he's sending 8 guys. And I'll tell you, when you get down near the scoring position, defensive coordinators in today's game love sending the house on your quarterback.
Steven Jackson, no. It'll be third down. Rocky McIntosh was there.
McIntosh has been incredibly good in this game. And you know how they play their 3-4 defense? A lot of times you'll hear, well, Rocky McIntosh, he doesn't fit in the 3-4. That's garbage, because I'll tell you how they play it. It's not like typical 3-4s where the guy's stacking behind the defensive line and waiting. These guys will hit you in waves. So their D-line, all 3 of those guys are a wave, and then the second wave is those linebackers getting horizontal and getting in on the play.
3rd and 2. Pass caught and stepped out of bounds, but it's a completion. That's only their second third down conversion, and a flag comes in after the catch from Denario Alexander.
Boy, he looked like he was awfully close to stepping out of bounds as that ball was delivered.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 23 on the defense. Stuffed the player into the ground after the play. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
D'Angelo Hall called for the penalty after a 15-yard gain on the completion.
And let's watch the feet by Denario Alexander, and he cannot be the first guy back in to catch the ball. Oh, he caught it good, perfectly. He's in bounds. He's got 2 feet down. He's got possession of the ball. That's nice work.
Looks like a little Dancing with the Stars move there. So their best scoring chance, and man, this Ram team and crowd needs it. Steven Jackson, no, he might lose a yard. And Reed Dowdy, the backup to LaRon Landry.
Rakpo stacked it up on the inside. Reed Dowdy comes with a run blitz or a run pressure from the outside. There was nowhere for Steven Jackson to go. Watch 98, and then you'll see 37 come flying up into the screen. See 98 stack it up, a Rakpo, and then he wrecks it, and Reed Dowdy comes in and cleans it up.
1 yard loss. It's 2nd and goal for the Rams. Mike Sims Walker is on the right. Denario Alexander on the left. Bradford looks one way and is in trouble. Penalty flag down. The pass is incomplete for Britt Miller.
And another self-destruction penalty. This one's going to go on Roger Saffold, the left tackle.
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Arakpo once again having a major impact down here in the scoring zone. Look at him just taking inside charge. I mean, a great speed rusher. You're always playing him that you don't want him to run around you to the outside. And Michael Strahan will tell you, and I remember talking to John Runyon about Mike. He said Mike, and Runyon with the Eagles, he said Mike was a great player when Mike developed the counter move. When you were always worried about the speed in the outside rush, and then he could break you off by crossing your face. It's exactly what Arakpo just did.
2nd and goal from the 14. Pressure, pass is incomplete, intended for Steven Jackson. So the Rams got close. Now they've backed up. It's 3rd and goal. Well, Ron Landry has come back out of the locker room. He's on the Redskins sideline. Reed Dowdy in for him. Saffold is ailing.
That is a tough job trying to block this big boy right here, Brian Arakpo. He has given Roger Saffold every bit and more for him to handle. Whoa.
Bradford, end zone, no. Drop. Another catchable football. Lance Kendricks doesn't hold on, and it's 4th down.
I don't care how skilled you are. I don't care what a great athlete you are, how good you look getting off the bus. When a guy delivers a strike, back shoulder, perfect ball location, you got to catch the football.
Yeah. And Bradford's just trying to survive out there. He still delivers the ball.
I feel bad for Sam Bradford. I do. He is hanging in there. He's trying like crazy to let routes develop. He's getting hit. He's getting blasted while he's trying to deliver the football and distribute it. And guys aren't making plays for him.
So the interception leads to this, a 32-yard field goal that is up, out, and good. So the Rams are finally on the board. Just over 10 minutes to go. The Redskins got a win on defense because the Rams couldn't hang on. They trail 17-3. Sam Bradford 12 out of 26. No touchdowns, no picks. His receivers have not helped him at all. They came in as the leading the NFL in drop passes, and 5 of them today.
Well, and 2 of them I think could have been touchdowns. Mike Sims Walker one early, and certainly that one there by Lance Kendricks.
Brandon Banks on the return. Special teams tackle made short of the 15-yard line. Britt Miller on the play. Rams and Rex. Kyle Shanahan is dialed up. It went from Tim Hightower to Roy Halou, and Ryan Terrain having the 100-yard-plus day on the ground.
Boy, and what a great thing to have 3 guys that are all different that can crank it up like that. And as a defensive player, you got to play them all different. One's a stretch guy, that being Hightower. One's a slasher in Terrain, and one's a cutback guy in Halou.
And this is Terrain, who didn't carry the football at all before this game.
Yeah, he just carried Ben Lieber about 6 yards, though.
And with 9:50 and counting and a 2-touchdown lead, the Redskins want the running game to work and keep it away from Bradford. The Rams staring at 0-4 if they don't rally, and the Redskins looking to go to 3-1 when they hit the off week.
And they did both of these teams with an off week next week. It will be psychologically demanding for the Rams if they slide into that 0-4.
It'll be 3rd down. Let's get a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
We mentioned in the pregame that Arian Foster told our Jay Glazer he's 100% this week. I guess so. 142 yards rushing against the Steeler defense, 42 on this touchdown, and the Texans have a 17-10 lead late in the 4th quarter. Chris and Ted.
Thanks, Kurt. Houston, a different team at home.
Houston, we've got a good problem. We can play defense.
And we've got a couple of running backs and a quarterback who isn't bad. On 3rd and 3. Grossman's pass. It was in the hands of Hightower, and he dropped it. So it's 4th down. That was a big stop for this Ram defense if the offense can do something. 8:43 to go. Hightower, by the way, with 78 touches this year, has not lost a fumble.
A couple of good defensive series, I should say, by the defense the last two. Remember, they got the pick on the last one, but they had also knocked it out on a fumble before that they didn't recover. So they've got their heads right over those last couple of series, refusing to lose.
Defense hanging tough for the Rams. Ball takes a bounce, and it's picked up by Porter. We have not seen Pettis since a couple of tough hits, but after the 40-yard kick, the Rams take over on offense. Tim Ryan, Chris Myers here in St. Louis, and Mike Shanahan said on a short week, a wounded team at home that's desperate, you don't want to run into them. What do the Rams have left as much as they've been dominating?
Well, they gotta get their quarterback protected. Or something bad's going to happen with an interception or a turnover.
On 1st down, the catch is made.
That's such a great throw.
That's Austin Pettis.
That is such a great throw, and that's why Sam Bradford was drafted #1 overall. I mean, when that guy is going to get it out on time and there's some rhythm and some synchronicity, he is going to deliver a strike. I'm loving this no huddle here, though, at the line of scrimmage now. Start pressing the envelope with 8 minutes to go.
That's Denario Alexander, complete the other way. So Austin Pettis, the rookie, on the pickup, and then Josh Wilson there making sure Alexander didn't get more. A healthy 1st down pickup, and they're moving it to the line of scrimmage.
You got to ask yourself why they didn't do this earlier in the game. It's such an effective tool, and watch what this does to the coverages for the Washington Redskins. It's going to make them generic.
Pass is incomplete for Alexander. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
And you think of Sam Bradford and everything he did at Oklahoma at the line of scrimmage. That's what he's going to do. He's going to stand at the line of scrimmage. He's going to get a great snapshot. When he gets up near the center, the defense has to get locked and loaded, ready to react. And when he gets himself in position, they got to be ready to play defense. So it's going to be a vanilla coverage, some type of 3-deep principle. He already knows what it is pre-snap. He'll get the ball out quick.
Here comes pressure. He gets rid of it. And that's Austin Pettis fighting inside the 35 for a Ram 1st down.
And he sees the pressure. And this is another thing. You get back there in shotgun. He's been looking at this and getting a snapshot of everybody. They come with the pressure. There's the little blitzer beater right there. And they're going to send the blitz from the inside. We'll beat it with an in-cut from Austin Pettis. Perfect.
Pressure again is picked up. Pass complete. That was a tough catch. Mike Sims-Walker holds on at the 29-yard line. They rush to the line on 2nd down after a 6-yard pickup. This is 4 down range given the score and the clock.
You should have started the game with this, Chris.
They did against the Giants in week 2. Bradford going to have to get rid of that. It'll be 3rd down.
I asked him on Friday, I said, what do you achieve by being in the huddle for 25 seconds? 25 seconds. He said, well, we you know, the communication. I got to give guys, got to look at Lance Kendricks and say, remember this, and a tip here and a tip there. Forget it. Get to the line of scrimmage. Make it more difficult on the defense who's trying to defend you.
He has time. A nice catch for a 1st down inside the 20. Austin Pettis has become the go-to guy on this drive. Remember, no Danny Amendola, no Greg Salas, a rookie receiver from Hawaii, both inactive.
And not to mention, Chris, what else you do to a defense is you're in the no huddle. You're looking at the defense. You're getting a great snapshot, but because you're controlling the tempo, you get those pass rushers, those defensive linemen, with their tongues hanging out of their mouth, dragging, you know, because they get tired.
Bradford gets rid of it, and he had to get rid of it early. And he goes down, and a flag comes down. The pass was intended for Steven Jackson, but Rob Jackson.
Personal foul, rubbing the passer at number 50 on the defense, driving the quarterback several yards backwards. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Here he comes, here 50, and he does a great job of knocking the hands down. Look at him knock the hands down Aragi. Now right here, you can't drive and slam to the ground. At that point, you've made contact with force. The ball's been out. You cannot continue with the extracurriculars and driving them and pouncing your body weight on the quarterback.
So the Redskins with a penalty that gives the Rams a first and goal. Sam Bradford, and almost it was hanging in the air for a possible interception, but out of the hands of Steven Jackson. Excellent coverage.
That's great coverage by Josh Wilson.
It'll be second and goal.
Jackson's going to come here and then cut it back inside.
Second and goal for the 10.
Can't do any better than Josh Wilson did there.
Got to get the ball in the end zone. The Rams trailing by 2 touchdowns. And somebody jumped again.
Well, and they're lined up in that zero blitz look for Jim Haslam. We've got 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage, sending the heat or disguising the heat.
Number 88, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
All right, Lance Kendrick's called, and they have their 9th penalty.
And that's the first zero blitz we've seen all day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's 0 safeties in the middle of the field. That's why they call it a zero blitz. And they ran 3 of them at the end of the game against Dallas, and that's where they got beat on that zero blitz right at the end.
But the headline is another Ram penalty digs a further hole on second and goal.
Here they're showing it again. Let's see if they drop off. Yep.
Bradford just off the hands of Lance Kendricks. It was a play the Rams had to make. It'll be third down.
Look, no safety in the middle of the field. That's the zero blitz, but it's a disguise because you're going to see guys drop and get into coverage. Kendricks once again on the post. A catastrophic drop.
Catchable footballs the Rams can't hold on to. Third and goal.
Here's that look again, too. 8 up. Bringing them all.
But Bradford floats it for Steven Jackson. Touchdown.
Brian Arakpo, here he is. Here's Steven Jackson. He's just going to run out. Arakpo showing that he's coming. Now he's going to bail into coverage. He's just reading the release of the running back. If the running back releases like that, he's got to go cover him. If Steven Jackson stays in the block, he's going to rush. He was late on his read, and there's no way you can play catch-up on a running back like Steven Jackson. Very well executed play by the Rams.
And the Redskin fans are saying we saw this once before on Monday night where we got burned. But
well, that zero blitz is a feast or famine defense now. You're either going to feast or it's going to be a famine against you.
And their official review every scoring play, of course, to make sure that Steven Jackson got into the end zone. We know the catch was made and he got to the goal line. So we'll take a closer look
before it crosses. Arm down there. The ball looked like it had crossed the plane.
It was ruled a touchdown on the field. After further review, let's hear what they came up with.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
A 15-yard touchdown pass with the blitz on. Bradford to Steven Jackson, and yes.
Yeah, there it is. He's reaching out past the plane, over the plane, as his hip, and it looked like his hip and knee and arm were all simultaneous to the ground. But the ball had already crossed the plane of the goal line.
As dominated as the Rams have been in this game. 5:45 to play. They're within a touchdown and an extra point, so that's reason to smile.
Well, and you said it earlier, the defense is going to have to make a play, and they did. I mean, there have been 2 good series by the defense. They get the big interception by Justin King. They get it down into territory, got a field goal out of it. Then they get a nice stop, force a punt, and they're able to capitalize.
Strap in and buckle down for Animation Domination, a whirlwind event. Don't miss a flurry of new episodes, part of one mind-blowing night. Animation Domination's whirlwind event. It starts tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on Fox.
I mean, if you think and take out all the drops and the self-destructive penalties, who knows what the score of this game is for the St. Louis Rams.
And Sam Bradford has hung in there. You know he's tough. You know he's smart.
And I don't think you onside here. I don't think you kick an onside kick at 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go down by a touchdown with as good as your defense has played the last 2 series.
And now you put the pressure on Rex Grossman and the Redskin offense. Rams have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 2 for Washington. Josh Brown, who has a field goal and an extra point to kick it to the very capable Brandon Banks. Deep in the end zone. He's going to down it. So the Redskins will take over on offense at the 20. Time for a game break. Here's Kurt.
How about the Lions continuing their comeback? Courtesy of Calvin Johnson. Triple covered in the end zone. He still goes up and pulls this one in. Leaving 7th touchdown reception on the year. Lions once down by 24. That pulled it within 6 in the 4th quarter. Chris and Tim.
Imagine if Sam Bradford had a receiver like Calvin Johnson.
Megatron.
What a game going on there. And a tight one here. Grossman has it. Intercepted. James Laurinaitis.
Somewhat of a surprising call, as good as they've been running the football. And Rex Grossman, here's Laurinaitis. He's going to get right into his zone, and Rex never sees him. Look at, there's the play action. Now he's going to turn and wheel to his drop, and right when he turns around, he's right in the throwing lane in front of Santana Moss and is able to pit. That is a great, great play by James Laurinaitis. Bad decision by Rex Grossman to throw that football.
One of the better catches made by any Ram today.
No question.
A chance to tie after all that. Bradford has time and incomplete. He got hit as he let it go.
How heads up is James Laurinaitis as he bites on the play action and then turns and wheels, and then this ball is on him just as he spins his head.
That's all that study he does. He said they stayed late Thursday night with the defensive backs, the linebackers, to go over some of the things that they thought could help them with Rex Grossman late in the game.
And Rex never saw him in the throwing lane. You got to love that for Laurinaitis, who's been dying a slow death out here today, because this guy lives the game.
Penalty flag on a Jackson carry. And James Laurinaitis was the one who said we have to give the fans something to cheer about.
No, you put a picture, a definition in a dictionary, and it'll have a picture of James Laurinaitis for linebacker.
And for Rex, his 2nd interception after playing so steady through the first 2.5 quarters.
On the offense, 2-man moving and not resetting. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
All right, so here go the Rams again with penalties. And Tim, how do you play this with a 7-point difference and 5:21 to go in terms of field goal going for it on 4th? Are you thinking 4 downs yet? No.
I think you're thinking 4 downs. You got to get your touchdown. 2 field goals do you no good. You got to get your touchdown here.
And Bradford goes down. That could change things. Stephen Bowen, 5th sack of the game for Washington.
Here's Bowen here. He's lined up out on Roger Saffold. He's just going to come back inside. Saffold gets blocked. He actually got bumped off by his left guard. That's exactly what happened. Saffold got bumped off, it looked like, by Tony Raggi and had no chance to follow Bowen back into the inside.
So it's 3rd and 25. Bradford, the ball's out. Brian Arakpo is back there. Rams get it back, but they're facing 4th down from the 39, and
they're going to call a timeout and really think about this decision here,
because even a long field goal.
St. Louis, 30 seconds timeout.
What a waste of an offensive opportunity after Laurinaitis came up with a big defensive play. Six times, Sam Bradford has been sacked. I have trouble saying it. Imagine how he has trouble surviving.
And he's just been rocked multiple more times.
Following football here, the Barclays Premier League returns to Fox with a pivotal game. Rivals Tottenham looking for their 4th straight victory as they take on Arsenal, a team desperate for a win and fighting for survival. Our coverage of Tottenham and Arsenal beginning later following football right here in high definition on Fox. Check the local listings for the start time in your area.
And they're going to go for a punt. The Rams are going to punt the ball, try to pin them down deep in their own territory and get one more real good series defensively, and hopefully have enough time left on the clock to go punch one in and tie it up.
Put the pressure on Grossman and the Redskin offense with 2 timeouts remaining for each team. Donnie Jones' kick looks pretty good.
Great punt.
And right on it
Great punt.
is Dominic Curry, who had a great play earlier that was missed by the officials on a touchback. A 37-yard punt. Redskins with a 17-10 advantage. We welcome you to St. Louis with Tim Ryan, Chris Myers. The Rams have trailed the entire game, 17-0 at one time, but their defense has kept them in it. And now they have the Redskins pinned inside their own 5-yard line.
3 outstanding series, Chris, by their defense. Let's see if they can build on that here in the biggest drive of the game.
Roy Halou, the rookie, carries. Redskins have used 3 running backs. Ryan Terrain has over 100 yards and a touchdown run. Rex Grossman, an early touchdown pass to Santana Moss, but has suffered 2 interceptions that have allowed the Rams to get back in.
And that has been the story here in the 4th quarter. The one tip ball out of the hands of Santana Moss. Justin King picked it off, took it deep into Redskin territory, and then the last interception on the last series to James Laurinaitis. Simply a bad decision to unload the football. Never saw the middle linebacker.
Set up.
Halou. It'll be 3rd down. The
Rams got to hit another timeout here.
The Rams have hurt themselves with drop passes and penalties. Yet an outstanding defensive effort as they do call a timeout to preserve the clock. See the marker. Rams will have 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, there's the little chip right there, which is going to identify how many are left. Redskins have got 2 left.
So now if you're Rex Grossman and the Redskins and Kyle Shanahan calling a play here.
Well, this is on Rex. I mean, it's 3rd and 3.5, 3rd and 4. You got your back against the wall. Do you play it safe? Do you try to make a play in terms of driving it, and taking a risk because you put it up in the wrong spot and it's an easy pick 6 if they get their hands on it? Look for Santana Moss, and I can guarantee you the St. Louis Rams will be looking for Santana Moss as well, who's been the 3rd down crutch for Rex Grossman.
The Redskins trying to hold on. Rams just trying to get a win and get back in it. Grossman. Incomplete.
He had him too. He had Moss.
He was open. 4th down. Steve Spagnuolo's
We
defense.
got life. Look at Spags. Steve Spagnuolo. He has not stopped coaching and grinding this whole game. And believe me, if you're just joining us, this thing was ugly up until about 7 or 8 minutes ago.
And for those fans that have stayed to cheer the Rams, Sabraka from his own end zone has had a good day punting the ball for Quinn Porter, who's waving everybody away. It's going to bounce. He's going to let it roll. And another big kick from Sabraka that goes to the 28-yard line of the Rams. A 63-yard punt.
And here's the miscues that made this a game. There's the tip over the middle. Santana Moss, Justin King. Now they're able to get a field goal. They get 3 points. They capitalize. Then there's a big penalty on Rob Jackson, driving Bradford to the ground. The Redskins come with that 8-up blitz look. And they get Steven Jackson releasing out of the backfield. Arakpo trying to cover him late into coverage. They're able to capitalize off those 2 big series on defense.
They beat the blitz on the touchdown to Steven Jackson. But now from the 28-yard line, 6 sacks of Sam Bradford today. 1 timeout left. Bradford complete, short of the first down to Lance Kendricks, the 35-yard line. And they're going no huddle, which worked effectively the first time they tried it.
Makes it easier on everybody, in particular the quarterback.
Batted in the air and incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Barry Cofield, who had a fumble recovery that led to Redskin points, got his arms up.
There's Cofield there, 96, who's been a great addition to this Redskin front. Swatting the hands down. I love that. And the good defensive linemen on the inside, as soon as they see that non-throwing hand come off by the quarterback, they know he's going to unload it. They get out of their rush, get their hands up, and get a block.
Pressure coming. Bradford time completes for a 1st down. And that's Lance Kendricks, who's had some drops and some penalties. Former Ram Ashimago Atagwe in the Redskins secondary made the stop.
Chris, they look like a different team in the no huddle with the fast passing game.
And for those that tuned in late, the most pressured quarterback in the NFL is, you're watching him, Sam Bradford. For Alexander, incomplete. Second down.
Boy, he had him too as Josh Wilson fell down and he just overthrows it. Watch Bradford, he's going to drop back and you're going to see Sam. He's going to look out there, to his left. And he just overthrows Denario Alexander.
Puts a little more under that football. Maybe Alexander gets to it. On 2nd and 10. Bradford's going to have to run, and they'll get another sack. Penalty flag comes in. Let's see what the call is.
That's sack number 7 in this game for the Washington Redskins.
There's been holding penalties as well on the Rams. The Rams have been penalized 10 times already.
And you see what that no huddle does. Look, you see the Redskins, they're bringing in the second team defensive lineman, getting that rotation going. Look at the hands on the hips. The no huddle, the hurry up, is the greatest equalizer of pass rush in pro football. More people need to do it more often. Because you know those defensive linemen.
For the 76 offense, that penalty decline. 3rd down.
You know those defensive linemen, coordinators, pass rushers, they're all trying to chop the head off the dragon, that being the quarterback.
So they refuse the penalty, leaving them 2 downs to get the first. They have to get to the 48 of Washington.
I know.
Bradford hit again, and it's 4th down. Adam Carricker, the one-time first-round pick of the Rams, got to him.
And if you can, in long down and distance situations, get pressure with 4 guys, you're cooking with gas, because they had deep shell coverage, 7 guys in coverage, rushing 4 against 6, and Carricker gets a hit on Sam Bradford just as he's trying to unload the football.
So now it's 1 down to go. They need 13 yards. We're going to get a timeout, Washington. The Redskins will have 1 remaining. 4th down and 13 for Sam Bradford and the Rams. 0-3, trying to find a way to win. trailing the entire game. In fact, booed at one point by the hometown fans, just like they were last week against Baltimore. But they battled back in this. Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, and what can we expect on this 4th down try?
Bradford's got to get protection. That's obvious. I'm curious to see what Jim Haslett does. Is he going to bring the house? Is he going to come with one of those heavy exotic pressures, or is he going to sit back and play coverage? Something tells me he'll sit back and play coverage as much as he's been bit by sending all the guys. Certainly they gave the touchdown up earlier, and that's exactly what they're doing. They got 2 deep safeties.
Bradford needs to make a play. Fires it downfield and incomplete. LaRon Landry back there covering, and he went for the rookie Austin Pettis. Limited targets on the field. And the Redskins will take over with 2:11 and 1 timeout for each team.
And that's the right guy to go to with those 2 deep safeties. And they call that cover 2 because the safeties are deep and they each have half the field. So you get them right down the middle where there's no coverage. Pettis was all over it, ran a good route. Sam Bradford simply overthrew him.
Remember, Danny Amendola inactive, so Pettis helped out on returning punts. Had 4 catches in the game. When they went to him in the second half, he was productive. And Ryan Terrain, 124 yards and a touchdown, is the back. Knocked down right away, but the clock will be a problem for the Rams.
And really, Chris, the Rams have no one to blame but themselves. Honestly, I mean, they have self-destructed in this game with the drops, with the penalties. They've consistently shot themselves in the foot. Take a deep look in the mirror.
Rams have used their last timeout with Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, and our crew here in St. Louis. They trailed 17-0, battled back to get within 7, and just turned the football over on downs when Sam Bradford's throw on 4th and 13 was incomplete. He's been sacked 7 times by the Redskin defense. Bradford a touchdown pass to Steven Jackson. But Ryan Terrain, 125 yards rushing and a touchdown run, has helped the Redskins hold on to the lead. Terrain carries again. Hightower did get the start. Roy Halou came in. And Terrain has carried the load. We have reached the 2-minute warning in St. Louis. It's the Redskins 17 and the Rams 10. The Redskins, who have owned this game from the start, facing a huge 3rd down and 3. They can lock things up.
Yeah, they got to run the football here and chew time off the clock. They're in field goal range. This is going to be a run.
The Rams run blitz, and first down. A Ryan Terrain run gets it.
And that's the game.
Now the Redskins can watch the clock roll.
Position. That's right. Boy, Terrain is he looks so much bigger than you said. The 6'1", 216, 217 pounds. And there was just no side-to-side movement there. Straight downhill for a big, big first down.
His 18th carry, a fresh set of downs, and the Rams, who battled back, will head into the bye at 0-4 unless there's some kind of miracle here. And the Redskins go to 3-1, bouncing back after that Monday night game in which defensive coordinator Jim Haslett told you, I've never lost a game where we only gave up field goals. There is Jim Haslett, former Ram coach, interim head coach and coordinator.
You know why he said he didn't get hired here, right? For that guy right there, Steven Jackson.
The clock running here. The Rams rallied to make a game of this. Had a chance on 4th down, but on 3rd and 3 moments ago, the ball run by the Redskins for a first down.
And back to Haslett, you know, he was the interim head coach here and coaching at the end. And of course, they didn't win a bunch of games, but he said if Steven Jackson would have stayed healthy, maybe I would have had an opportunity.
Steve Spagnuolo might make that same argument. Jackson hurt game 1 in the loss to the Eagles. Back here with a touchdown catch. But the Rams, after the bye week, facing a brutal schedule that continues. Green Bay, Dallas, and New Orleans await. Whereas Mike Shanahan has the Redskins off to an impressive 3-1 start before the off week. With Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, our entire production crew, we hope you stay with us for some final thoughts on the Redskin win here in St. Louis, the final 17-10.